So, Kentucky Fried Pensions. I actually want to get to the Kentucky Fried Pensions. I've been researching it. Supposedly, there's a big downfall. They don't have enough money. They're not financing. They haven't been financing it for several decades. And because they haven't been financing it for several decades, they need like $1 billion a year. They're only putting 100 million into it. They're going in the right direction, but they're not. They have no revenue generating plans. And James Comer is talking about privatizing it, which would mean I don't know. Detroit went bankrupt because of their pensions. So pensions are going to be a big deal. And Stumbo is talking about taking out a bond and then invested in the mutual funds or stock market. So that means he wants to try to borrow money to save money or something like that. That's what James Comer said. It didn't make any sense. But it does actually make sense. You could take some money, put it in mutual funds, and it would raise interest. Not much. I don't think you can make that much money from it. But it would be one way to make money. But you need more revenue generating plans than just that. And James Comer wants to privatize the management of the mutual fund owners or whatever, the bondholders, and he wants to privatize them. So if you privatize the management of it, then I don't see you getting any of the money back. Frankly, I mean, they take money for themselves and they say, screw everybody else. Yeah, I want to just knock these pages down because there's too many tabs. So in the beginning, I want to talk about the different lieutenant governors. There's Daniel Mongiardo, there's Jerry Abramson, and now there's Crit Llewellyn. So there's been 3 lieutenant governors under Steve Beshear. And I guess it'd be interesting to see how they get fired. Are they just, you're elected as a slate. Could you just get fired? That would suck. I wonder how Mongiardo actually stopped being the lieutenant governor. Addison was born February 20th, 1942. Senior U.S. Senator. So, I was 2 years old when he was elected. I'm not sure if he's making that face intentionally. Why are you making that face, Mitch? Stop it. Oh, really? That's what he looks like? No. Lieutenant governor is, what's a lieutenant governor? There's one in Australia. There's a lieutenant governor in Canada. People have used this term. It means something in some countries, but in some places, it's a sinecure, right? A lieutenant governor is a sinecure. It's an irrelevant, pointless position. It's powerless. Very little power is behind it. But since you're the vice something, the number 2 something, then it's you get sort of the luster, you get the glory, you get the money without actually you just show up to meetings. You don't have to make any decisions. You don't have to make any speeches. You just make sure you don't die, right? You don't want to die. He doesn't want to die. It's probably good just to maintain some type of relationship or friendship, have an informal relationship, and go from there, right? So, Labor Management Relations Act of 1947 is the Taft-Hartley Act, and restricts the activities and the power of labor unions. We need to repeal Taft-Hartley. We need to do anything and everything that the unions want. Unions are how middle-class peoples have ever got any power or any leverage, with corporations. But Jack Conway's got, $5 billion in the bank. So that means he's got corporations, right behind him, right? So $5 billion. Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky is elected constitutional officer, the second ranking officer of the executive branch, and the first officer in line to succeed the governor of Kentucky. The lieutenant governor is popularly elected every 4 years by a plurality and is limited to 2 successive terms. So the Crit Llewellyn is the first one, or the one today, but there was some in the past. And in the past there was, something was up. The budget for the lieutenant governor's budget is $371,000. Meaning you can pay yourself, and if you had that guaranteed minimum income, everybody got 10,000, then I could pay for 37 more poor people. I can pay 37 poor people to be my slaves for a year. if I was the lieutenant governor and had that budget. The salary they get $117,000 be a pretty penny. That's almost, you know, that'll help pull me out of poverty. That'll make me not so I don't know. I mean, I still have my moral core, but I won't be as angry and desperate. The lieutenant governor's paid an estimate 115,000 2013. So they're making 2,000 every year. I wonder how much the governor makes. But that's a pretty penny. 117,000, and it's a sinecure. Hey, I got this sinecure job. You're just going to basically sit around, and sit at meetings, and try to get what you want. If anybody listens, yeah, you're totally related to underneath the governor, and there's nobody really. I mean, you do have a budget, so you can spend that money however you want to spend it. See, here's the executive organization chart. The governor of Kentucky is at the very top, and then the secretary of the cabinet, is right below him. And then you have all these departments. Boom, 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 boom. So the governor controls all these people. He puts all these people into jobs and makes them positions. But you have here, lieutenant governor, off to the side, in a tiny little box that's been grayed out. It's a sinecure. It's a fucking sinecure. $117,000 just to sit off to the side. It almost looks like that fetus on the South Park on the side of the head. Hi, I'm Jerry Abramson, lieutenant governor. He was former Democratic. That's what he's known as, the former Democratic lieutenant governor. He was mayor. He owned Louisville for years. So it's funny. Oh, he was this nobody for quite some time. I guess it's a placeholder, right? You get to just be in politics without actually being in politics. I'm gonna check out. Yeah, I guess I'll take a look. He was lieutenant governor, and then eventually he gets moved up. Obama picks him to do something, and I guess he just resigns. Abramson and Beshear defeated David Williams, Richie Farmer, and Gatewood Galbraith. Abramson raises lots of money. He's good at raising money. So that really says nothing about nothing. Daniel Mongiardo, I want to know why he quit. Did he quit? Get fired? Hey, you! May God bless America and Kentucky. Former Kentucky Lieutenant Governor Steve Beshear chose Mongiardo as his running mate for the 2007 gubernatorial election in Kentucky. They won the Democratic primary with 41% and enough votes to avoid a June runoff. Look that up. That is important. How many votes do you need in order to win? To get a runoff, usually it's like a plurality, meaning if you were the number one vote getter, you win. But the fact that there's even a consideration of a runoff makes me wonder what the election laws are for. Why would people think, wait, there could have been a runoff? So Beshear and Mongiardo were elected over incumbent Governor Ernie Fletcher by a fucking ass-kicking 60%. Just smashed the fuck out of Ernie Fletcher. Crushed. That's fucking, disgraced Republican governor. Nepotism, breaking all the laws. He didn't even know the laws. He didn't even know what he was doing. So Mongiardo claimed that some rural voters would not support Barack Obama because of unfamiliarity with Obama, ignorance, or race. Mongiardo had endorsed Obama, who had supported him in the 2004 U.S. Senate election. protection. That's amazing, actually. Obama endorsed Obama, and Mongiardo returned the favor. And Mongiardo is right. Obama's a good fucking president. So Mongiardo should speak more sometimes, it sounds like. And saying that, people in Kentucky was racist. He's right. Ignorant, racist. Hey, you should apologize. Why? Because I know that rural folks are fucking ignorant ass racist. He argued if Williams suggested racism was not an issue, then he was out of touch, which he is right. So, I don't know why he stopped being lieutenant governor. Under a bill changing the selection process of candidate for lieutenant governor, which was proposed to the Kentucky House, Mongiardo could seek re-election as lieutenant governor even if he lost the Democratic primary to the U.S. Senate. Governor Beshear, however, privately indicated his desire to assemble his 2011 re-election team prior to the conclusion of the 2010 election cycle. On June 19th, 2009, Beshear named Abramson his running mate. So, that doesn't mean anything. That means nothing. All this means is that he was a lieutenant governor, and then eventually he just wasn't asked to be the running mate again. So I guess he served the 4 years. And then while he was lieutenant governor, he went ahead and ran for Senate. I mean, sitting around doing nothing, why not actually do something? But I mean, that'd be so sweet. If I got, oh my God, if I got $117,000 a year. So if I got $117,000 a year, I mean, I wouldn't just pay 17 poor people to follow me around. I would, pay stuff off, and then I would have money left over. And with the money left over, I would have to invest it. And I would, I would want to start a business. I would want to get a camera, maybe a website, but definitely a nice movie camera, tripod, and that's it. That's it. That's all. That's about as far as I'm away from actually establishing my own media company. A tripod and a nice movie camera. I could use a better computer. Like, give me a real ultra super fast one with a great microprocessor with plenty of storage. So that other Kentucky horse race. Yes, the Preakness Stakes outdid the Kentucky Derby in terms of acceptance this year with Curlin's come from behind victory. Then again, we're just as happy to watch another horse race. Why are we looking at this? Northup, Joseph Girth, Steve Beshear. Sandy Overly, Kentucky gubernatorial. The primary election is over May 19th. Filing deadline for petition candidates, for independent petition candidates not involved in partisan primaries, is August 11th. So the May 19th is when the primary is over. We got February, March, April. Only got 3 months and 2 weeks. So filing deadline for primary candidates, it's already passed. Voter registration a month beforehand. And then May 19th, 5/19/15. So 5/19/15. That's when it's over. That's when it's up. No more. Adios. And it's adios like Cherokee Shill. Just not going to participate. Not going to try. Jeff Young, Jonathan D. Masters, Jack Conway, Sandy Overly, Matt Bevin, Janine M. Hampton, James Comer Jr., Chris McDaniel, Will T. Scott, Rodney Coffey, Hal Heiner, Casey Crosby. I got top billing here. Jeff Young, Jonathan D. Masters. They spelled it right. Wikipedia spelled it wrong. So again, Ballotpedia, kicking ass, taking names. Wait, I got a name. I have a name. Ballotopia has Ballotpedia has decided to tell the world that I'm somebody. And who am I? I'm a candidate. And that's all it says. It's a Democratic candidate with Jeff Young, and with Jeff Young is the Democratic candidate. They filed it with the Kentucky Secretary of State. That's a lot of non-information, and they misspelled it. Jon. There's an H. It's supposed to be an H. I do have a picture, and I might actually send you one, so I will keep that page up. Sandy Overly is an American lawyer, engineer, politician from the state of Kentucky. This is the woman that I am running against, right? For our sinecure positions. She's gonna make way more money. I mean, she's a lot more money just being a member of the House. She makes like $10,000. If she's a lieutenant governor, she'd be making $117,000. She's a lawyer, engineer, politician. I mean, I'm sure she hasn't made a shit ton of money already, right? Born 1966. This is gonna be fun for the ages, I think. 1966, and then I want to see what Conway is, and then I want to check out Young. Their ages. Because I am curious, you know? Why would Conway be afraid of me asking how old he is? It just doesn't make any sense. I need to call Sandy Overly tomorrow. I'll be like, hey, Sandy, you want to debate? I mean, let's not have a debate. Let's have a conversation. Let's just have a conversation. I have no plans of attacking you. There's issues that I would like to talk about. I'm sure there's issues you'd like to talk about. You bring up a set of issues. I bring 5 questions. You bring 5 or 10 or so. And for a minute, we just talk to each other. You ask questions. You state positions of things you believe. Ask me, contrast. We'll see two different people having a conversation. And that's, in a democracy, we should care about actually, we don't have to get along with each other. And yes, we are, I guess we're putting our names on the line, our reputations, our faces, but it's not on the line. I mean, I feel like you're getting your name out there. Even if you lose, you get your name out there. So you never truly lose. The only way you lose is if you run for the same position and, you never do anything differently. So anyways, running into that wall just 50 million times, right? That's when you realize, okay, I gotta do this. Maybe I should go around this wall or under it or something, right? So anyway, Sandy Overly is a member of the House of Representatives representing the Fighting 72, the 72nd district, which I'm sure there's plenty of 72ers. We're the 72ers, and we are ruled by Overly. She's an overlord. The first woman to serve in a leadership role. So she's actually making history. She's the Democratic caucus chair. So actually she gets to organize all the Democrats. So she's very influential with the House of Representatives. She's probably the top most important Democrat. So, I still would like to talk to her. I don't. So what? So what I was singing, who cares? She's a very important person. I understand this. I understood it when I started talking. Okay. Overly and her husband live in Paris, Kentucky, and have 2 daughters. So she got a little family going on. Considered running against Andy Barr, but she didn't. But 2 other people did. And you know who would have won? Jeff Young. Overly ran in a special campaign to succeed Carolyn Belcher as representative of the 72nd. She won the election January 8th. A special election? How do you get special elections? They gerrymandering, try to kick out that one Kelly Flood, but Overly just out of nowhere elected caucus chair by the Democratic House colleagues who chose her over incumbent chair Robert Damron, making her the first woman to hold a leadership position in the Kentucky House. I'm having too much fun. Lieutenant Governor, the Lieutenant Governors Thelma Stovall and Happy Chandler, they like to abuse their powers. Whenever the governor was out of the state, they say, now we're the boss, you do what we say. Like total lunatics. And the lunatic fringe. So Daniel Mongiardo didn't quit, wasn't fired. He just was replaced in the next election, from my understanding. If I'm wrong about that, I hope someone tells me. So here's all the list of lieutenant governors who would matter in the beginning of Kentucky's history. They don't matter now. There's been 3 lieutenant governors. Do you know any of them? Crit Llewellyn. I thought she was like the auditor, but maybe somebody else moved up. She moved on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So here's more stuff about the pensions. I'm getting these things knocked down. Moving right along. Kentucky Fried Pensions. There's a big pension, casinos. They got to have revenue generating plans. They need to generate revenue. And why not generate some revenue by buying some gas stations? Buy 10 gas stations. If you bought 10 gas stations, you would be able to pay for the pensions. You'd be able to fight price gouging, and you would be able to pay for the pensions. That's a revenue generating plan. And that revenue generating plan is better than anything Comer has said, is better than anything. I would be a badass lieutenant governor. God, I would be such a badass lieutenant governor. Passionate, smart, know what I believe, got firm moral convictions, and I would be the best cheerleader, the best champion for working class peoples the world's ever known. My God, I'm an honest, good man. And I think that's exactly what we need, is someone who can think independently, think for themselves. No good with authority, so might as well just be, one of the main guys. Might as well be a sinecure, Might as well be a sinecure. And then I could go around Kentucky, people like, he's the lieutenant governor. So does that mean I gotta listen to him or not listen to him? I don't know. What is that? No, it's good. He's the boss of everything. You sure about that? Yeah, I know everything about everything. That's why I talk. Why would I be saying stuff right now if I didn't know what I was saying? You dig? Successful public pension reform. Oh! Well, I mean, what the hell is everybody talking about with the pensions? There's already been reform. It's a success. I'm reading it right here, right now. The Pew Charitable Trust. Kentucky's successful public pension. Here it is. Here it is. So there's a whistleblower, and actually I heard that he got removed from the position. I don't know why I want to talk about old Europe. The Security Council, Jack Conway was totally in favor of George W. Bush going into war. Totally blindly supported his commander-in-chief. Like Richie Farmer with David Williams, looked at with tons of adoration, say that a puppy has for its massa, and blindly said to hell with it. Let's just throw our nation into war. But he did say that he wanted to go to the United Nations first, and he wanted all the Security Council to go with it. But Donald Rumsfeld said, Germany and France is talking shit about us going to war with Iraq. Fuck Germany and France. That's old fucking Europe. France was against the Iraq war, and so was Germany. And the old Europe, I think they're like the only Europe. Old Europe, I don't even see how UK, the United Kingdom, seems to be, they still live with imperialist ideals. They still have like the Falkland Islands. Aren't the Falkland Islands like bigger than the United Kingdom? But maybe that's like, hey, that's one of our colonies. No, we got that island first. We keep it. It is mine. And America's an empire. France is an empire. I guess Germany is not an empire. Germany can only be its own country. And it's kicking ass. It's an economic powerhouse today because hey, you fucking Nazis, you better fucking behave this time. You go crazy, psycho, ape shit like you did before, there'd be no more of you. they would probably not just wipe out Germany, but anybody that they found out had any type of German blood. Wait, you were a German 5 centuries ago? So France, my God, France, the, you know, lots of there was lots of French people that was colonizing Kentucky, America, Northern America, first. So there's lots of French culture that's in America that we. So it was amazing. We were sitting there calling French fries freedom fries, and it was Germany. Germany was, you know, they picked on France the most. Somebody was saying take down the Statue of Liberty, and there was this big anti-France rally. And then they just messed up with France, talking about no-go zones or whatever. And then they just made fun of all of Fox News. Fox News has no idea what they're talking about. No-go, no-go zone, no-go zone, no-go, no-go, no-go. A specter is haunting Europe, the specter of communism. All the powers of old Europe is entered into a holy alliance to exorcise this specter, to get rid of it. To get rid of communism. The Pope is against communism. The czars, the Russian czars, the Catholic Pope, Metternich and Guizot. You know who Metternich and Guizot is. Even the French radicals and German police spies. They all want to get rid of communism. But communism's here to stay, and it's going to rise from the ashes. I feel like the whole world's already agreed on this question. Probably a little bit of both, right? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Okay, so I was going to read Donald Rumsfeld. He actually had a more articulate sort of explanation. He was saying that there's 26 countries in NATO. And so when you think about the empire, we are covering all of Europe's ass, right? So there's actually... we are the what's keeping Europe kind of together. Now there's the European Union. They're going to get stronger than us, but we have military bases in Germany, and we're an empire. So we have bases right there in Europe. We could just, you know, go crazy one day. But they've been doing okay. We've been doing okay. They ain't bombing people. We ain't bombed for about, what, last 60 years? You haven't seen any major sort of conflicts, right? Supposedly democracies, true democracies, don't attack each other. So this douchebag, this douche nozzle here, portrait of a Prince Metternich, Sir Thomas Lawrence. He was something to do something. He was against communism. He was the first state chancellor of the Austrian Empire. Oh yes, my name is Prince Clemens Windsor von Metternich. Old Metternich, born into the house of Metternich, just doing, you know, just Metterniching around. Hey, what's up, Metternich? Did you call me a better bitch? No, I called you by your name. Oh, I thought you said better bitch, bitter. What dislike liberalism worked to prevent the breakup of the Austrian Empire? Francois Guizot. The Prime Minister of France. So French radicals and the Prime Minister of France was against communism, which is amazing. They're a pretty socialist country today. And he said it was old Europe. France is like Europe. France, you know, Haiti paid reparations back to France because France acknowledged that it was its own country. We will only recognize you if you give us lots of money, and then we will say you are your own country. You stole our slaves. They were our slaves to begin with. How dare you? They started colonizing. They got like French Guyana, and they've got some colonies around. They own Africa. Their financial fucking system in Africa is disgusting. They own like half their former colonies are using French currency. That's why their country is fucked. Francois Guizot. So Here's articles, my blog, my transcripts, my meme town, my state of marijuana in Kentucky. Here's what Jack Conway has to do. I'm going to actually stop this here and take a break. But he's like the man. He's got like a ton of power now. So governor, he would be an okay governor. He would be an okay governor. He would be he would probably do everything just like Beshear did, only with his difference of opinions. And he was for the Employee Free Choice Act, which actually was really good. And so I want to give a poignant, sort of analysis of Jack Conway. I don't want to say that he's just a horrible human being, but when you're not there's so many weird things, that I'm come across. And does he have a moral consistency? Can we tell what he is going to do? What are his planks in the platform and what he says he's going to do? Can he accomplish those things? Yeah, he does have a record. Yes, he did okay. As Attorney General, he did okay. But he could have done better. Having so much power for 7 years now. I need to get the exact date because I keep coming back to it. But for 7 years now, you had all this, the chief prosecutorial power. You're the man. You're the man. He was the man. In fact, you could almost... Andrew Beshear is going to be the Attorney General. He's already in there. So Beshears have a legacy. The Beshears are going to, live forever. Beshear was like the first governor in a long time to secede himself, or him and Patton, but they just now started it. They just now started doing 2 terms, so Beshear was able to stabilize the Kentucky. We didn't all collapse either. He was able to pull us out of this recession that nearly blew up the president, or blew up the world. And that's incredible. 2008, because of casino style capitalism. And then that's when the president did go ahead and institute and put in the it was a Freudian slip. I mean, it wasn't Freudian. I don't even know why. But anyways, about blew up the world. 2008, our financial system the American dollar is the currency that the world trades with. But if our dollar, goes under and we go into a depression, then our paper money around the world isn't worth diddly crap. See, we cannot go to a depression. That's like recessions are tolerable, but we cannot go into recession. And so Bush actually used socialism to save capitalism, his words. And then people want to complain about the auto industry, but that's using socialism to save socialism. And then it was a loan. And so the banks, it's a little bit different. Big banks who ruin the economy versus, the banks need to make better decisions, and there should be financial regulation. How are you going to put Mitch McConnell in there? He's against financial regulations. We're going to just talk about financial regulations. Just financial regulations. I should look up, actually, everything Obama has done that I like. No, I can't do all that. But okay, 33 minutes in, and I'm going to end with this. No, I'll start with it on the next one. Oh, man. And then on the next one, I also want to talk about, just basic stats about Kentucky and information. Because I do keep on touting my old Kentucky home, and I'm thinking the economics, but there's other good things that I could, brag about. But we got a river. We're centrally located. We have lots of rich Americans, white Americans all over the place, right? White people are everywhere, and they're across the way. We legalized marijuana. We would sell so much to Indiana, to New York, to Maine. God, why do we not legalize marijuana? Why the fuck don't we legalize it? Are you all seriously stuck back in the goddamn, what? When oh my God, 1917? And newsflash, hemp is fucking marijuana, you stupid fuckers. It's the same fucking seed. It's already legal. Oh my God. Okay. Basic stats information. I think that would be a good little update. Hey, good morning, Kentucky. So, weed is still illegal in 46 states. Do the state of marijuana fire chat. The state of marijuana fire chat. And I wonder if they're talking about marijuana in Louisiana or Mississippi. God, I've never gave a crap about Mississippi. Mississippi is the worst state in the world. So actually, we should just laugh at Mississippi and study Louisiana. Or I don't know. Maybe we could laugh at everybody. You ain't Kentucky? Well, you suck.